So let me share. Yes. So meeting minutes from last time. FS4 story is closed. This cat's Zipkin test is still failing very often. It is indeed often blocking the validation pipeline. So Carsten started to work on that, trying to find out how this application was built, but there is no fix so far. So if this test fails, we have to keep retrying until it eventually succeeds. I checked if this feature is officially supported and documented, and well, yes, it is, very briefly, but it is documented. So it is explicitly mentioned that trace ID, span ID headers are supported, and this particular test will just check that the mentioned headers are correctly generated and processed. So, okay, so we should validate this feature, and yeah, let's hope that Carsten finds out how to either reverse engineer the jar or build a new simple application. I mean, the application itself doesn't do very much. It's some kind of Spring application, and you just check that the headers are correctly set in GoRouter. So possibly we can also use another application. Okay. Release process for cats should be documented. Carsten did a very good job here. So now we have in the CF acceptance tests wiki release documentation. It's basically copied over from the CF deployment wiki and stripped down a little bit. So now everyone should be able to create CF acceptance tests release if necessary, and as a reward, get a cronut with caramel topping. Yeah, just remember it's in the wiki and not in the README. Okay, the read review. Yeah, this little bit over-engineered review of a simple print error message if the API check test fails. This is merged, and then this gets automatically integrated in, I think, the jobs who use Runtime CI. The jobs use the main branch of Runtime CI. So if in the update releases pipeline, the API cloud controller health check fails, we should see a better error message before it was the HTTP code and the response body was not printed. Yeah, small improvement. Then the GCP NAT gateway change for Bubble. It was just merged 40 minutes ago. That is very nice. So next steps, we wait for, no, next step is then something I can do this tomorrow. We can now set this ephemeral external IP flag to false in the GCP Bosch Cloud config. It's not needed anymore as we have the NAT gateway. And yeah, when this is then released altogether in a new, hi Carsten, in a new Bosch bootloader version, then we would not see these external IP addresses anymore in our GCP deployments. Yeah. Okay. New stacks for cloud native build packs. We discussed this briefly in Tuesday's talk meeting. And well, basically, we are a bit early here. There is nothing to do yet. So we will just do busy waiting until it's clear which stacks we have to support and validate. Okay, hi Carsten. We were just going over last time's meeting minutes, and well, basically everything is done except this CATS Zipkin test, where you try to find out how the Spring Sleuth jar was built. Is there anything new?
No, I did have a chat with Dave to see if he might know somewhere we could steal an app from. He recommended that we just rewrite the thing in Go. I still haven't tried just extending the timeout as you recommended. However, I have noticed that it's been flaking less than before, but still, yeah, would like to get it fixed for sure.
Yeah, it's still annoying. It often blocks the pipeline. Yeah, rewriting in Go is also a good idea. I think we just need a Hello World app where we can set 1 or 2 headers. That's all this test asset does. Yep. Okay. Good. Okay, so that were the to-dos from last time. For today, I've only one point on the agenda so far, unless you have something. For the CATS pipeline, we deploy Cloud Foundry, run the smoke tests, the CATS unit tests, and then the Cloud Foundry acceptance tests. I've noticed that there is no destroy CF job. So the Cloud Foundry deployment keeps running. And I just wondered, to save some cost, would it make sense to do a destroy CF here at the end, as we do for most other validations too?
We could. My understanding is that the CATS doesn't get torn down because both the smoke tests and the CATS pipelines use it, and neither of them actually care about deploying CFD. So to make both those pipelines quicker, they just have this beginning part of CATS that anytime a new CFD version is created, they will go through and deploy that CFD version. And then both the CATS and smoke tests can just basically run tests using that deployed CFD. If we want to change this to clean it up, we can. We're sacrificing a little speed in the pipelines. That's the trade-off. But honestly, I don't think we get enough changes to where that's going to make a difference. So I'm personally fine to spit it down. We're just going to have to rework both the CATS and the CF smoke tests pipeline, not just the CATS pipeline.
Smoke tests.
Test and release. That if you click on that group, yeah, it uses the CATS environment. They share an environment.
They share it. Okay. Yeah, okay, then it would mean a bit of reworking everything. I mean, so far no one has complained. Yeah, I just noticed that the CATS deployment keeps running with 20 or so VMs.
Yeah.
No one has complained. It's just maybe that I'm transferring SAP's cost-saving behavior now to our accounts.
I think it makes sense, right?
Okay, it would make sense. I mean, we're doing it for all other environments as well. So everything, every deployment, for update releases, we do even bubble up and down each time, but okay, that's not a problem, as there is maybe one release update per day. And for the CF deployment, environments, we do always a Bosch delete deployment.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, good. Then we should also try to do it for cats. I will create tasks and check if there is anything else to do. If this we don't get how many.
If
How does this run? Well, every 2 or 3 days, maybe.
yeah,
And
pretty much
cat,
only gets dependable PRs.
cats also about 1 or 2 per day.
For if we do this refactor, it might be worth considering giving smoke tests its own environment so that those two pipelines aren't always blocked on each other. If we are introducing a complete spin down, then it doesn't increase cost that much more to add one more environment, I think. That's usually in the director state. And we're talking about potentially holding up one of the two pipelines by, I don't know, like 45, like 2 hours while we run. If cats is the one who claims it, it spins it up, it runs cats, it spins it down, like 2 hours where the CF smoke test pipeline can't run. So maybe that it deserves its own
problem.
environment in that world.
A new bubble N for smoke tests. We just need a domain, and then we have the jump box and the director. So we should do this first, of course, and then when we have that, we can modify cats. Yes. Okay. Yeah, good. Sounds like a plan. Okay. Any other business from your side?
No.
Nothing. That is good. There are a few smaller changes coming in CF deployment. Nuts has a major upgrade, but as I understand, it should not affect us too much. They are adding some checks that in post start, and here's a smaller PR. So when this comes in, we should check if there are any problems while upgrading nuts. Yeah, and then there was this smaller issue with here is a bit chaotic. There was a client auth extended key usage missing for one of the certificates. And yes, this is a bit messy. So we have certificates with both client server, some only server, some only client. And yeah, it was not so apparent that this was missing because it also depends on the TLS client you're using. But okay, this will be easily fixed. Yeah, thanks to Johan. And yeah, then we are fine. Okay. Yeah, if there is really nothing else from your side. Okay, good. Then we are done. Thanks for attending and have a nice evening or a nice day. See you.
See you.
Bye-bye.
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 See you. Bye.